You wish.
Hire somebody.
You wish. Are you resigning?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I see what you. I know.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, I will call this meeting to order at 5:19. Do we have approval of minutes for the March 13th meeting? The minutes are in our packet.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting held on March 13th, 2025.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, perfect. The minutes have been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Karen, I'm sure, said aye as well. So the minutes are approved. The next is public comment or guests. Nothing. Sorry, still noting. Okay. Next is correspondence. Do we have any correspondence, Jess?
No.
Okay. Reports and discussion. Open class. Taylor, so we did have a meeting a few weeks back, and we are working on following up with a few people for open positions. I did never reach out to Teddy and Hannah. Just did you? That's all right. I needed to tonight. I forgot. I'm a very busy lady these days. I'm sorry. Open positions. There's a culinary open position. Jessica resigned, or not Jessica. Janaea resigned. Janaea Markle. So she talked to. We all thought maybe her sister. I did follow up, and she is not interested in doing it. So we're kind of back to the drawing page. But I have two people in mind for that culinary position.
What do we require any kind of a background or anything? Or if you eat, you can do this, or if you enjoy art, you can do this? Okay.
Yeah, it's open to the general public. For the judging, it's a little bit different if you're a judge, but these are just these are the superintendents that manage it all.
Okay.
Next, we discussed the fair book. This year, we're going to do a blue jean contest instead of the boot. Last year, we had the boot decorating contest. This year, it's going to be a blue jean contest. So it's any kind of item of blue jean material, and it can be entered the day of. No need to pre-register. So we'll be putting out flyers for that a few weeks before the fair, just to all the local. Anyone can enter.
Do you think space is going to be an issue?
No, we're planning on hanging them from the walls. So I think there's tall ceilings. I think we'll be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We are talking about some additions where the crochet animals, all these kids are doing, they're called like Woogles or Googles or something like that. Anyways, we're going to add that. We're going to get the name right for the fair book, but we're going to add them. We also have a few edits. We're fixing the number of strawberries and a few other items so people don't have to bring in all of their fruit, because we know that our trees in Montana don't produce a ton of fruit. So we are fixing the numbers on some of those, and then we may be increasing the number of flowers that people can bring in. So we don't have a ton of entries in our open class as a general, so let's not limit the ones that are limited. So the group agreed to that. We're going to be doing some Facebooking, talking about our department. So each superintendent will put together a little Facebook post, and then we'll post too. So I'll be working with you on putting the Facebook post out. The final list to Jessica by April 15th, which is very soon. We'll get back to you, Jess. I'll send out some reminders there. And I think that was kind of the main thing that was really discussed for us. All the dates and whatnot. We'll be setting up decorating Monday, August 4th. We will, our date of open class judging is August 6th, and then we'll take down on August 10th, that Sunday. So they helped us with our sponsorship letters. In June, we'll hand out posters. Yeah, it's kind of what we had for this last meeting. We'll be meeting again soon. We don't have a date yet, but we will be. So, if you have any ideas for someone for a culinary superintendent, we'd be happy to take those. Again, I have a few ideas, but they might tell me no, so we'll figure out that. Any questions for open class?
What what kind of duties are involved in I've got somebody in mind, so
Oh,
as a superintendent, what would that?
yeah. So, being a superintendent, you attend our meetings that we have. I'd say there's probably half a dozen in a
If
total
that,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe 4 meetings, I would say. It includes helping with handing out the sponsorship letters and also the posters. Other than that, it's really of the week of fair. We asked them to, I guess, put together a Facebook post, and then we also have done newspaper articles in the past. Other than that, it's the week of fair, which is, again, helping decorate at that 4 p.m. on Monday. And that's the open class side of things. And then being there kind of the full day on Wednesday of the fair week. And that is organizing. People will bring in their entries. You help organize them. And then when the judge comes through, you help the judge just kind of administrative tasks like mark what ribbons they get and whatnot on that. And then you help just display it after the judge is done, making it look nice. And then Sunday you help tear all that stuff down. So I think I got most of it. And just helping, like, if there's any other items before the week of fair. If, like, last year we made this really cool poster, so there might be like a few working group meetings, but nothing substantial. So cool. Any other questions for open class? Okay, vendor Sheila.
We have the kettle corn folks have sent an application for that. They usually set up next to the bathrooms, right? And I figured that's fine, so I just told her that that's
Did
fine.
they send one to you?
Yes.
What kind of kettle cleans? Okay, we
Yes.
forward it to me so that I have a copy in the office and for the secretary.
Yeah, I thought you were on there. So, okay, yep, I will send that to you.
Okay.
I just got the packet from Val here, so I'm gonna have to kind of go through it a little bit, but we've got a sort of a southern Tex-Mex kind of
Yeah.
vendor that's interested. They've never been there before. So, and then we've got potentially another sort of American food kind of
Another new one, yeah.
new one as well. So, I mean, so we're doing all right there as far as indoor. I don't know if you've heard
indoor
from
letters
anybody.
haven't even went out yet. I haven't sent any indoor commercial vendor letters out yet.
Is it the same letter then?
It's a different one, just because like their fees are different.
Right, I was
Their times
noticing that.
are different because we have to open and close the building.
Okay. Would you send that?
Yeah, I did email you both the food one and the commercial one, of the
Okay.
updated one.
I'll go back and look at it again. I might have been more focused on the food one than is the commercial one. So, okay. But that's it for updates. So it's just a matter of kind of wrangling them all together, I guess.
I have a question. Did we turn food vendors away last year? No, we didn't. I couldn't remember. Okay, cool. Thank you.
And we know of one for sure from last year that won't be returning, or won't be coming this year at least, because it conflicts with another date. And then possibly another one. I haven't heard directly from him, but another food vendor told me. So
Oh, okay.
it's good that we do have 2 new ones.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Rodeo, we don't have one, but that will be later. We'll talk about that. Oh, should I talk about that now? The rodeo joint?
I have it.
Oh, yeah,
down
you have
there.
it later too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So next will be 4-H. Karen has an update.
So she brought me some stuff into the office earlier, and she wanted just to share that about the parking and camping stuff that kind of went over on Monday night. So they have that on their list of things to do. I think it sounds like we might be waiting until mid-July before we really can narrow that down anyways. But they've been reaching out to judges. Their fair entry opens May 15th, closes July 9th. Indoor judging will be on Tuesday like it always is. No changes there. There is a slight change in the show schedules this year. They have decided to split the small animal show. So I don't know if any of you were involved with it last year, but it ended up being like a 6-hour show. So on Thursday afternoon, they'll be doing pocket pets, poultry, and cat. And the rabbit show is now moved to Friday in between swine show and the sheep and goat show. So, one thing that does affect, I guess, Fair Board wise, is it is another judge fee we have to pay. So we used to normally would pay our small animal judge $125 to do all 4 of those animals, and plus mileage. And it was hard for them to find somebody who felt that they had enough knowledge to do, especially poultry and rabbit, because they're both becoming really big projects. And so this way it is nice that they'll be able to find someone that maybe is more specific to each species. And then I think they might alternate, like this year it'll be poultry with cat and pocket pet, and then maybe next year it'll be rabbit with cat. So they might alternate those. And Allison and I kind of went over some judge fees and stuff, and so I think that we will change the, what did we say, the small animal judge will get 100 and the rabbit judge will get 75. So our fee will go up by $50 plus mileage for whoever it is. So we'll have to, and that all comes out of next year's budget. So when I'm redoing the budget, we will be able to change those.
This is a silly question. We pay for the judges?
Fair Board pays for 4-H judges.
I did not know that. Okay.
And 4-H indoor judges. And the open class judges.
Got it. Okay. I did not know that. Thank you.
So just to be clear, the decision was made to split these into 2
by the 4-H Livestock Committee.
by the Livestock Committee.
Yep.
But we pay for them.
We pay for the judges.
Okay. I'm just being clear. And it's $50 plus mileage, which is
Well, mileage is what gets us, because we have to pay the county rate, which is like 71 cents a mile right now, 70 cents a mile. So even if the judge comes from Helena, it's $40. If they're coming from Bozeman, it's 80 something.
okay.
So mileage does add up.
I feel like that's something that the budget can probably absorb pretty easily, though.
Yeah, we can. We'll have to just move some things around, and that'll be fine.
But that's next year, so it's not really
Yeah,
a votable thing right now.
Yeah, so it'll
Okay.
be when we start doing budget stuff. Actually, next week is our first budget meeting, or no, not week. Next month, mid-May, is our first budget meetings with Bill Jarocki, and so that's, and then they're finalized. They finalize them the first week of June.
So we probably should approve that.
Yeah, so well, we don't have to approve it. We don't have to approve little changes like that. It's just if we've never paid judges' fees before, and now we are going to pay judges' fees, then we have to approve it.
Okay.
But when it's just small bills that we've always paid, then we don't have to.
Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions for Karen or Jess with the 4-H? Okay, public relations with Val?
I really don't have anything to report. I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I need to get.
Well, I have something for you. It's
All right.
later on,
Because-
but
Welcome to my
It's on
world.
your-
Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea really what I'm supposed to be doing here, but that's okay.
Do you want to be in charge of articles for the paper?
You just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. So.
Because I do know, so the county has started not every department, but they offered all the departments to take weeks to do articles in the newsletter or the newspaper. So mine is next week, but I can do that. But if you want to make up a couple articles, because we usually run a couple in May.
Okay.
And I can send you ones that we ran before. If
Okay.
you want to just use those to edit from.
Okay.
If you want to, otherwise.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll have have more in the update for Monday for newspaper stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just wait
Okay.
till
Mm-hmm.
anything else for Val?
No.
I think I wouldn't mind kind of hitting it hard and having something like kind of every other week.
Yeah.
However it is you
In
decide
the
to
paper?
structure that.
You
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yep.
If it's just a letter, a letter to the, and like a letter of interest or
Our local
something.
newspaper has this tendency to say, "Hey, guess what happened last weekend?"
Yeah.
Like, can you tell me what's happening next weekend so I can prep for it? So,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you submit them as articles, then there's no charge.
Right. Right. Okay. Got
So
it.
You do have to, I think it's like Tuesday at 10 a.m. if you want them in that Friday's paper.
Okay.
But
All right.
I'll send you, because that's what I usually do is I just like look up last year's from,
I guess I could really just bring it up now. I don't know. It was at the joint meeting, but it really had nothing to do with them. But it's the NT 43 News would like to offer a free 1/8 page ad in the July and August issue of the paper. She gave me the rodeo board, but that's all right. The Townsend Fair one, to advertise the fair. The ad is listed for $186.75 per run. So she would give that to us for free with the trade of MTN 40 News going in the fair book.
so like a sponsor trade for, what do they call it, in
Free effort.
kind?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll pass that over to you.
Okay.
This is new this year. So.
does MT43 kind of end up in the program at some point anyway, or is that
They've actually submitted a sponsorship
okay?
maybe the last few years.
So they're looking to trade that sponsorship for some.
Yeah, and I don't remember which level they were or anything like that, but.
The total
You said
trade would,
1/8 page?
yeah, because she said the total trade would be $560 free advertising for the two boards.
She was a blue ribbon sponsor of the 2024 fair.
Mhm.
I don't remember what level that is. But anyhow.
But she's talking to both fair board and
She-
rodeo board together.
No, separate. I know it looks a little confusing on there, but
Okay.
she said for the rodeo they want their sign in the arena,
Okay.
and for us she wanted their name in
The fair book.
the fair book.
And if they were blue ribbon last year, then did blue ribbon get signs? I don't think they did.
I can't remember.
I don't think they did. But yeah, I mean, Fairbook posters and even the daily schedules is really easy to put logos on.
And what's the blue ribbon level?
Blue ribbon was $100.
Right.
So maybe they.
That, gosh, that seems like a fair trade.
Yeah. So I'll leave that with you,
Mhm.
public relations, if that's okay.
Sure.
'Cause
I'm
it
just
is
trying.
kinda-
I'm just trying to read this and comprehend it because
Yes.
it says
It is a bit
the
confusing.
rodeo board to advertise their upcoming rodeo event. The ad is listed for $186.75 per run.
I'm wondering if she gave me the
And
rodeo
then
slip.
she
instead of
said,
the- I don't know.
we would also offer to run a one-time 1/8 page ad in either the July 25th or the August 1st issue of the paper for the Broadwater County Fair. So the rodeo board would be both the 25th and the 1st, and ours would be just the 25th or August 1st. It says, in turn, we would like to have a 1/8 page ad in the rodeo and fair circular, which the fair manager publishes each year.
I'm happy you wrote that whole thing. She told me what it said. She handed it to me. I said, I'll get it to her. It needs to go. So, which is why you're in charge.
The reality is that's probably not going to change the printing at all, but it's
No.
going to change your effort into it to make sure.
I'm sure
A
that I
good
can
copy
find
and that
somewhere
kind of
to
thing.
squeeze in a 1/8 of a page
Mhm.
ad in the fair book.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So there's
Oh,
that.
Karen must have, she just texted and said, Fair Board gets 1 time and rodeo got 2 or 3 times. She can't remember which. We have to put it in our book and rodeo has to put it up on a sign in the arena. So, okay.
Thank you, Karen. I did call her afterwards. I said, my brain was fuzzled. I have no idea what they said for half of that stuff. So good thing. She might have to voice
Can
a
I
lot
gather
later.
from this the cost for the sign in the arena would come from the rodeo
That's
Yeah, that's all
side
that.
of things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their deal. Okay. Anything else for that? Okay. Moving on to Fair Board business. The letter of interest for a rodeo board liaison position. Review letter and make formal recommendation to commission.
So we did not get any more. I know after our last meeting, it was technically advertised 1 more time in the newspaper. We didn't get any more letters. So what we would just need is for you guys to make a motion to make that recommendation to the commission, and I was told that it can be approved as part of their consent agenda next Wednesday. And it would be, so our bylaws do state, I looked back at them, because Daleen asked me if they would, what the term would be. So our bylaws do state that terms of each member shall be staggered. The commissioner shall establish the staggered order of terms. The first year of appointment shall be for 1 year. Following year's appointment shall be for 2 or 3 years staggered. Appointments are made for the calendar year or as vacancies arise. So I think technically this first appointment for Denise would be through the end of 2025. And then if she wish, it would pretty much be like if you guys would wish to stay on the board, you submit the letter saying that you want to stay for another term of either 2 years or 3 years. So.
Okay, I motion that we put her forward as potential board member to the county commission. I'm not exactly sure how to word that.
To accept her letter
Move to accept her,
of interest. as
letter of
the board
interest.
liaison.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's been moved.
I'll second it.
And it's been seconded. Any other discussion? I know that one of my friends is going to submit her letter, and it was part of our leadership group becoming an active. She's at a retreat, so I didn't know if she got it in. So it obviously is probably too late, I would assume. But I know that there was someone else that was also interested in it and is trying to get involved. But anywho, so that was be my discussion. Any other discussion? Karen, anything on the phone?
Our next meeting is May 8th. We could hold off until then, I guess, and then put it forward to the commission at that time. Does anybody know Denise? I mean,
So
I know
it's
she
been
was
open
recommended
for the required 30 days.
Okay.
and we have a letter. I don't know, that's my, I guess, my part of the governmental procedural part.
Does it state in our bylaws that it has to be within 30 days? Or
They just have to advertise it.
You have to
within 30
advertise it for 30 days.
But do you have to accept?
we don't have to necessarily make a decision if we have potentially somebody else?
Yeah. I don't know that. I don't think it just says in our bylaws, to my knowledge. I'm guessing it would just be if we didn't want to accept this person and we want to see what else there is out there.
I don't know
So-
her, so I don't know. I mean, all I have is what's in front of me right here. So
Yeah. I would be interested in holding it open if we're able to.
Val,
Just because she's
Do
she's
you wanna-
a newer person in the community.
I guess one thing that I fear is if it's already been open for over 30 days and we haven't already gotten anything, then that kind of shows me that they're not being proactive about it.
If it makes any, her brother
I
just
know.
committed suicide, so she's been going through a lot. If that matters at all. I'm sorry. She's my friend, so I feel like I'm very biased, but that's just discussion. So
I'm going to ask again, Val. Would you second in the motion? However, I feel like maybe you have something on your mind.
I do, but I don't want to say it in a public meeting.
that's
So,
Should
I
we hold off until May and then maybe have another discussion about this, or should we go ahead and move forward with putting these in front of
does Karen have anything on the
the
phone?
letter of interest?
Did she say anything via text, Jess?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
but then again, it is just until the end of
Yeah,
2025.
so the test run. Okay. So maybe we'll just go ahead and.
Motion's been forwarded and seconded, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. So we'll make this recommendation to the commission, and they have to approve it, correct, Jess?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right, moving on to the 2025 fair. The entertainment options.
So on the back of the agenda, I printed our entertainment schedule. So the only thing that I've confirmed is J-Rock Jewelry and the paint party. They do want to come back.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know which musicians you guys wanted to invite back. Because I can reach out to them, I just need to know which ones. We will not have Rapid Agility on Friday night, but we used to do a robotics demonstration when our robotics program was big, and then it kind of fell off, but now it's coming back. And so that's, I think Allison did ask him if he thought he'd be interested, but I haven't heard anything back. So that would be a possibility of something under the tent.
On Friday evening.
That's when the Rapid Agility was.
So we're just looking to fill that.
But we could put them anywhere that works for those kids that are in those projects. That the Rabbit Agility worked for the Rabbit kids because they were coming right off of they did their Rabbit show on Thursday. Honestly, if we were there doing it this year, Rabbit Agility on Friday night probably wouldn't have worked because they would be possibly just barely getting done with their show at that point. So.
And was that just kind of a demonstration?
Yeah, so under, for the robotics demo, they would be probably just setting up, like they make these like robots and they program them to like go through like courses and do things, and so.
Is it possible to do something that's maybe interactive with the community? Do you think they'd be able to, so they can do their demonstration, but then also say, hey, here's some parts, little kids.
Mhm.
It's, see if you can build something that does this. Is that something that they
Possibly.
might be able to do?
Like, possibly could. I guess it would just depend on the leader and how much he would want to set that up for. But they also do it through like Stoke. So
Right.
our robotics program is kind of not partnering, but they're doing a lot of their workshops as underneath part of the Stoke workshops, I guess. All of our robotics kids are like signed up for the Stoke workshops, and they go through the Stokes workshops, but it also fulfills the 4-H project material.
And the high school's got a robotics team as well, is that correct? Or, I keep seeing it in the paper, but I don't know the affiliation, I guess, if that's through the high school or if that's through
I think
Stoke, or
that's
if that's a
the
community
electronic,
thing.
the
There's an
electron.
esports team, but they're more like
Com-
video gaming and
okay.
stuff. Like,
Yeah, I'm talking specifically about the robotics.
Oh, I don't know, I guess I've
no,
never
it's
seen
not.
it.
It's not a school.
It's not a school
No, I think you're
affiliation.
seeing
It's,
the ones that are through Stoke.
that is through Stoke. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not very clear. So I
Yeah.
wasn't sure how that was affiliated. So I know my father's done that in Gallatin County for years. That he
Yeah.
heads up a robotics team, but that is school affiliated. So
Remind me, are the Girl Scouts willing to come? The Girl Scout bus, car, van?
I emailed them. I haven't heard back, but probably not, because from the last time we had to
Reserve early.
Reserve,
right?
like,
a year.
a year and a half in advance, and I think I talked to them about it last year, but we weren't sure of our fair dates at that point. So
Okay.
and what did the Girl Scouts do?
they had the STEM van.
They did.
It
STEM.
wasn't our local Girl
Or
Scouts. It comes from like
STEM.
Wyoming.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have to come from Wyoming? It could be local Girl Scouts like Helena or
They could. I don't
Bozeman,
know.
Three Forks, wherever.
I don't know how strong of a Girl Scout program we have here
I'm
locally.
guessing not here, but
Yeah.
outside, but maybe not as far away as Wyoming.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool. But no, like this was a different thing. They had a van that was completely set up
Yeah.
to go city to city to city to city to city to set up their things. There wasn't like somebody throwing up a pop-up in a table and some activities.
Right.
Did we hear back from the PTA?
I have not heard anything from them if they were planning on doing.
Okay.
But like I said, commercial applications haven't went out.
Oh, and that was
Commercial
part of the
vendor.
commercial vendor
Mhm.
part. Okay,
Yeah, they
sorry.
were
That
technically
wasn't a
Commercial
free.
vendors last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we get them as the free entertainment? I know it's not the 10, but
I mean, if they want to. It's,
I mean, I know it's a good moneymaker if they come in as a vendor, but it seems that they had lots of activities for everyone.
well, I guess, yeah, they're welcome to come if they want to do so.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because I don't know how well it worked out for them.
It was so hot last year, everything melted.
And then it was windy.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was so
because I think they did
hot
have
last
they did have issues with where they were because there's no shade.
No
over
shade.
there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it was hot last year. It was sweltering.
It's been the last couple of years, actually.
I about died.
So we're looking to fill potentially from 6 to 7. The way I'm reading the schedule here, from 6 to 7 on Thursday, like 1 to 6 on Friday, and
Oh, so the youth rodeo is at 6 o'clock on Thursday, and so
Okay.
we usually don't do anything during the rodeo time.
okay,
Rodeos start at 7 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. I believe. Did they say if there was any changes with rodeo scheduling? I guess we could talk about that later
Yeah.
during the meeting. But
No.
I'm
not
just
that
trying to
one.
get an idea of what kind of space we're trying to fill. So basically, Thursday we're good. If we've got
3 to
J-Rock
5.
from 3 to 5, and then we've got
Mhm.
rodeo starting at basically from 6 on. So we're looking from 1 to 6 on Friday and roughly 2 to 6 on Saturday. Is that, because we've got, I mean,
Yeah.
face painting, the inflatables. Are we getting
Well, and the
the,
face painting is not confirmed, So that's why and ceramics is not confirmed. That's why they're italicized.
Okay.
And then I haven't booked any inflatables yet.
Okay. How about the kids, the,
Stick horse rodeo.
not the sticks, the folks that come in and bring the foam things that the kids beat the crap out of each other with them.
Well, last year, she never returned any calls. We didn't have them last year. So I haven't reached out to her this year.
So
We can.
we're assuming that that's probably not a,
We can reach out to her if we want
Possibility.
to.
I'd be supportive of getting the inflatables again. And there's a local person that has one that she rents.
Oh yeah, it's just the regular square
Yeah, like castle with the
Mhm.
slide.
with
But not
this-
big, but yeah, there's 2 little racing slides on it.
It would be nice to have one, like a smaller one like that we could keep up for longer.
Oh yeah.
You know, because the big
Oh, yeah.
ones, like we only run them for like 5 hours. 'Cause,
right?
They're
you know,
so
5 hours, they're
expensive.
like $1,100. But the problem is we would have to run it off a generator. And we would need somebody to sit there and attend it.
Right. We had asked volleyball in the past.
So they do the one on Saturday, the big one. And
So
that's
a
usually,
different
that's
one.
probably all that, I would guess that that's probably all that they could
So we
do
will keep.
is one for like 5 or 6 hours on Saturday.
Okay.
Just
so
because
we'll.
between all the girls, I think they have a hard time finding even
Yeah.
2 people to be there during the whole 5 hours.
And
So-
that's the one that needs to be attended, that,
The one that we rent from the Bozeman lady has to have attendance.
So
The one that we would rent from Casey, she probably wouldn't require them, but I think it'd be a good idea because
right.
the kids get on there and they just go.
Yeah, they have no
So
respect.
when would you like
Crazy.
that to be then, Jess? Just like
Well, if we had a smaller one like that we could run maybe even like Friday nights
okay.
for a few hours, or Friday afternoon for a few hours would be
Yeah.
cool, and like Saturday, maybe once the big one has to go down. So in the past, we rented the big ones from like noon to 5.
so the big one, I want to be clear about this. So the big one comes with its own staff and we don't have
No,
to figure out
we have
how
to
to
staff
staff
it.
it.
We
Okay.
can staff it.
And then the smaller
You can
one,
pay extra. You can pay for them to send attendance. And you
gotcha.
have to pay them like $20 an hour or something.
But they don't provide their own generator either, so
We
basically.
rent a generator from them
Okay,
because that's
So-
a gigantic one.
so we rent the generator and the equipment, we rent all the equipment from them, but then we have to staff it.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the smaller one, they come with their own staff and
No.
they come with everything?
This is a
or-
person in the community that has one that would like to.
So we,
Let-
again, we rent the equipment
Yes.
from them and we
Yes.
have to
That's
staff it and
Yeah.
that comes with its own generator or?
It probably can.
Okay.
How big
Probably.
of a generator?
We probably have to find one, but we would need one
Yeah.
to run it for the times that it's on. Because we've tried, the last time we did have was it rotary?
Mhm.
I think
Had
I think it
a little
comes.
simple one, and we couldn't even plug that into the commercial building. It kept turning off.
How big of a
Falling in
generator?
on kids.
She said she would do $200 total if they wanted it every day.
200 a day?
No,
Or
200
total? Okay.
And that would be on
Friday
Friday
and Saturday?
If we would find a generator, we could pay for
Yeah, and I think we would do
fuel.
that.
How big a generator does she need?
We'll take care of that. She'll bring one. We have a ranch and farm and we got multiple generators. We'll figure it out.
It depends. I don't know.
So we need just staff and
Probably just one person.
The generator's
on one of
gonna
those
be
smaller ones to sit.
donated, if you will, okay. And so it's 11, so then for the big one, because we're kind of mixing things up here, so for the big one, the generator, 5 hours, about $1,100-ish
That's
is kind of
about
what
what
we're looking
we've
at.
budgeted the last few years.
Okay, and that comes with a generator, we just need to provide staff. Okay.
I'd have to look back. I think we pay
Total.
the volleyball team $150 to staff it for 5 hours.
I think
But
that's
it-
right.
Those big ones, I usually have to have at least 2 people because a lot of them have like an entrance on one end and an exit on one end. We did the obstacle course, or like the big slide was an entrance, and then so they'd be watching to make sure people weren't messing around in there.
Okay.
How big of generators are we talking about for that, like the big one, do you know?
It's like
They
the
just
size
bring
of
it.
this desk.
Yeah, they bring it.
Does it come on a trailer then?
Yeah, they bring all of it and unload it and all that stuff.
Yeah, it
Okay.
like it comes on like a little, like it has like a wagon thing,
So we're
or not a wagon, but it has its own wheels.
Talking about like a
Trailer, its own.
I mean, it's like this tall,
like a
this
12
wide,
kilowatt
and like this
generator? Okay, gotcha.
Big. It's
Okay.
because those blowers are pretty.
Yeah, and I would expect that. I just looking for a frame of reference. Okay.
Cool. Okay, so we got that done. Inflatables, and then anything else? I think that Travis Reagan is good. I feel like we've had him, but he's really good.
He was there last year.
Yeah, and I know that people like the Williams too. I think they're good. Do we
Should we
want to
ask
keep?
Judy? We didn't, because Judy didn't do it last year.
No, she didn't, but yeah, I would ask her.
That'd be great.
Last year we did Kyle.
How much is Travis? How much was he last year?
I would have to look back at what we.
And Judy, if she does it, she'll just see if we'll just exchange it for her vendor space.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I like those kinds of
Mhm.
deals.
What is she?
Judy, she's
Judy
the
Williams.
yeah, she has the cow ears and she's so funny. I love her.
Okay. That's kind of wrapping up the fair entertainment. I think at our next meeting we'll have more things solidified for that going forward. Wouldn't you say, Jess? I think we're good on that.
Yeah. One thing. I need to start trying to contact Ty still, because sometimes he's been hard to get over there.
I was actually going to ask you if we got him paid from last year. Yes, because I know that was
We paid him for like
double.
last year and the
And
year before, like at the same time.
Okay.
He's really worried about it.
Yeah,
isn't he?
right.
So do
It
you
was
think?
not our fault. It was because
Right.
he had to sign the contract. So.
Yeah.
Do you think staffing is going to be an issue for the inflatables before we move on?
The big one, no. I'm pretty sure volleyball will probably be able to handle it. The extra one, we'll just have to reach out to some people. I think we can find somebody to sit there and watch it, but it would be asking the right person.
Yeah. Concerned.
What kind of a budget would we have to? So I think with the volleyball, do we just write them a check or do we
We give them cash.
we do
It's
And that
part
goes
of, like,
into their budget for their year? Kind of
yeah, they use
or-
it for team stuff.
Okay, so it goes to the team, really. So if we find something else like that they would.
Yeah, or even somebody personal that you could say we need somebody to watch this inflatable for 3 hours. We would pay $40. Would you be interested?
Or we could do it in lieu of sponsorship. That's,
I am happy to talk to Casey as well, since it's her inflatable, and see if she has an idea, or maybe she'll just do it herself.
Okay.
She loves to give back to the community, so I'll talk to Casey and see what we need to move
Okay.
forward.
And I was going to say I would offer to sit there for a couple hours
Yeah.
too.
yeah, and
I'm there anyway, so.
Yeah.
and I have no problem with that either. So.
Okay. I'll get.
And I don't have to be paid.
I'll get a better idea from her, and then
Okay.
we can talk about it the next one. Okay. For next item is sponsors. I know that we have given a bunch out, but Jess, what's an update there?
So we've only received one back to the office. It's the same one that brought their check in like in February. So,
So they don't count?
It was Greymont. I think they were just like going through like
That's
some
great.
of their other
Yeah.
things. They're like, might as well pay this now. I'm like,
Kinda
they brought it
surprised.
in. I'm like, John, I don't even know what we're offering this year. So that's all right.
I love that.
I don't
I'm
So-
surprised you
some
haven't
of them-
heard for more than that.
Some of them have been sent out, I guess. I I think tomorrow I'm gonna go through our sponsor list and send out emails and attach it to just be like, hopefully somebody has brought one by in person, but just in case,
Got buried.
just so that people who have sponsored before, because I only have the email addresses for the people who have sponsored before. But that way return sponsors have the opportunity.
Because I have 3 that are return sponsors and I just have not gotten them to them yet. Again, I apologize, so I will try to get that done.
So I don't know if you guys have seen the letters. Oh, here. So, we talked about what we were gonna do.
Thank you.
Do you need another one?
No, I'm good. Thank you though. The
So
country
pretty much the only change was we took, we took
yeah.
the concert tickets, remember?
Mhm.
And so the Best of Show sponsor gets $40 in country cash vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
Purple ribbon sponsors get 30, blue ribbons get 15. So these are the little vouchers, and so that's another thing that I added.
Cute.
So that's one thing I did have to add into the food vendor and commercial vendor letters is that, hey, this year we're giving out these vouchers, and you would, they're worth $5 each. You don't give change back for them. So if somebody pays for something that's $4.25 with their $5 voucher, you don't give them change back. But I still give you $5 for the voucher.
Right,
So
right.
they should come back out ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
But each voucher will be numbered. And so, and I did this with the concert tickets too. I had like a form that I tracked what concert ticket number I gave to which sponsor. So when I send them out, I'll know. And that way, we can kind of track that, I guess.
Mhm.
And then we can also track which ones were turned in and which ones weren't.
Yeah.
So that will be something, and I always had to put little letters together with concert tickets and drink tickets, and so it's not that much extra work to do, but.
I've been telling them about it as well when I hand them out, and people seem like piques their interest anyways, so.
Mhm. Yeah. So we'll see how it works out, I guess, and I did put they're redeemable at any vendor during the 2025 Broadwater County Fair and Rodeo.
Okay.
So,
Or did you print all those already, Jess?
no.
Okay. My only thing is if a vendor says no to them for whatever reason, is that okay? Like, I'm just thinking at the Houston one that, like, they had it marked, accepts Country Cash or Houston Bucks or whatever it's called, Howdy Bucks. I mean, ideally we don't have to have that issue, but if someone wants to be a
So,
pain, you tell me what you think, and I'm happy to just say,
I guess I didn't put it in their letter.
Well,
But
and
in
I-
their email that I sent them,
and they kind of be crazy or silly not to, but
Mm.
I did put in there that was a change that we
okay.
had made.
Then if
maybe-
it's not even an option, I love it.
Should we maybe add that to the letter that's if
I-
sort of if you pay the vendor fee,
I-
then you
I honestly don't think we should give them a choice.
No,
then you are
game
accepting.
too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
If they're coming to our fair, they will accept them. Otherwise, they won't come to it.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I
I
think
love
we
it.
should-
Because otherwise, it's going to be.
And
Yeah.
yes, I agree. Okay,
And then
cool.
people
And
will
I
be mad
can't
because they
imagine
wanted to
any
spend it
of our-
at this place and they wouldn't take it. And
Like you said, it's
Yeah.
it's free.
I can't imagine any of our vendors that we've had in the past whose vendor would be.
Are you sure?
I think we should just add
I'm
that to the
sure-
letter,
well-
that's part of the contract
Mhm.
that you will accept these. That's
Good.
Or the Chinese food.
Oh no, that's everyone's favorite.
and look, they'll accept them in like the beer garden, that kind of thing, or
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, they're local.
I should have asked them, had you guys ask them Monday night.
I didn't think about that.
I
I can call Lisa too and ask.
I mean, both of them were completely okay with the drink ticket things,
Last
even the
year.
wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the wrestling club even took them in exchange for things other than drinks. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
if we're reimbursing that, then I
Mhm.
can't imagine.
So
Good to go on sponsors. Just keep knocking them down and getting them out. Vendors, you kind of gave that update earlier, Sheila. So we might, I guess the vendor letters you said would go out May, right? Let's say that's an addition.
I can
Will you
send out the
Marshall?
commercial ones probably next week.
Okay. Cool. And then any,
Oh wait, I do
yeah.
have something else under entertainment.
Okay.
Sorry. So in lieu of the concert, I know we had talked about trying to figure out something bigger. I did get an email in from Mobile Escape Rooms
Oh,
that are available in Montana. And so I called the guy today and talked to him. They're not actual, like, a trailer escape room. They actually set up a room within a building. And so and it's like a 50-minute game, and then 10 minutes to redo the room. And so they can take 10 people per hour, pretty much, that they're set up. He sent me a pricing sheet, and then he also sent me a link to these YouTube videos. If you guys want to, and it just shows them like setting up a room, so you can kind of visualize how it's a little bit more.
How big is the room?
It depends on the game. They're about 24 foot by 10 foot.
10 by 24, and they get.
So that would be about three of the booths inside.
Yeah. So that was my thing is
outside.
We would have to let them set it up in the commercial building.
Yeah.
And it would take, they're different, so like one of them is 25 foot long, 10 foot wide, 8 foot high.
How much does it cost?
So he gave us like a pricing, so if we wanted it to be up and active for 6 hours on Friday afternoon and 9 hours on Saturday, so 15 hours of game, the price would be $29.50.
Almost 3,000, right? Just to confirm.
Mhm.
Okay.
So probably about equivalent to our concert, maybe a little cheaper still. They would need a hotel room for Friday night. So what they do is it's a $1,000 charge for the first 3 hours of games, and then $150 per hour after that is what they charge. When they stay overnight, they add a $150 charge per overnight stay. Yeah.
I know.
And so he said like they have a booking like software system that they would use, but they would do all the bookings. Like we wouldn't have to have anybody sitting there signing up 10 people, stuff like that. Like they would handle all that.
So they're charging us to be there. So we're paying for them to be there, and then they're also charging the people that.
No.
Okay.
We could choose to, if we wanted to tell people that it's $5 a piece to go through it, but then we would keep all that money. But I told him we want something as a free entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, he's just there as just like the same as you would have a magician.
How would you feel about something? I mean, the cost it would be just like the concert and we sell tickets, right?
Mhm.
How would you feel about something like?
Wait, we wouldn't sell tickets for this.
Well,
It would be free.
I'm asking the question though. How would you feel about selling tickets for something like $20 for a family or a group, or like the 50-minute session kind of a thing? So if you
Yeah,
and all
I'm
your
following
friends
now.
show
Okay.
up and you charge them, it's $20 for one round.
Yeah.
Because that would be, I mean, it would be very different
Yeah.
entertainment than what we've
Yeah.
had in the past, and we would be able to recoup a little bit of that. And, I mean, kind of see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah.
It's $3,000 is a little bit of a pricey experiment. But if it's in our budget, I'm willing to give it a go. I don't know, what do you guys think?
So I guess part of the thing that I looked at it was like as a free option of things to do for people. Because so max we would serve 150 people, and I think if we advertise it and market it, like we could have it be pretty full. And it being in the commercial building, there's good and bad for that, because it would take 2.5 spots up
Yeah.
probably
Mm-hmm.
of our vendors, but
We'll get people in there.
it would bring people in there for sure. I also don't know if all of our,
commercial building.
I have a feeling with the weekends changing that we might lose some vendors, because, I mean, we've already lost 2 of the 7 food vendors from last year that won't be making
We
it.
changed weekends?
Yeah.
Well, it's not technically a change in the weekend. It's still the first full Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of August, but it's like,
It's not the
most
first
people
weekend.
look at it as the second week of August.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And so we're
Gotcha.
competing
So we're
with everybody
conflicting
else
with
who's
some other
second
fairs
weekend in
that-
August.
Okay, I'm understanding with
Yeah.
you now.
Yeah.
So,
And, you know, and to be honest with you, sometimes it is a pain in the tush to fill the indoor.
I don't,
We don't get a lot of return people in the,
and I don't feel like the commercial building
Commercial
is ever
building.
truly, I mean, if we packed them in there, we would have a lot of extra space. It's because we have extra space that we kind of let people spread out a little bit, I think.
well, they pay for each slot.
Right.
Between each thing is one,
Right.
I
I mean, how many people do we have inside average, let's say, over the last
probably, let's see,
5 years or 3 years
1,
or whatever?
3. There's 5 or 6 on one side, and I think there's. I'd have to look.
3 on the other
Yeah.
side.
There's
so there's
7. I think there's.
there's spots 1 through 15 in the
Yeah, I thought there was going to say about 15.
Just kidding.
One of those spots in the corner is kind of a half spot.
That's the one Judy usually
Mhm.
gets, and she pays for 2 spots then.
Is he free the weekend of our fair? Just to start there.
Do what?
Is he free the weekend of our fair?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Figured.
He has
But they
three
just
different-
wanted to make sure.
He has 3 different like game setups. One of them is being used somewhere else. And so
Okay.
there's 2 that would be available to
What are
choose.
the two?
So they're like, he has different themes. So there's like a Dead Man's Chest underwater adventure, and there's an Alcatraz prison break one. And he said the underwater adventure one is really popular with kids.
I was just going to say that would probably be the best for the kids.
And it's in our budget, Jess, because it's roughly what the concert would cost.
So what the concert would be.
My thought, and I pitched this to, just because it's relevant, I think. I pitched this to the local FFA advisor and talked to the shop guy. I think I did. And they said that they could probably build something, but I feel like we're too late for it for this year. So if it's a hit, maybe we could have them help us build something for next year. And maybe they could even include I don't know, maybe another group in the community, maybe Broadwater Community Theater or something, would be interested in like putting together like the actual
Mm-hmm.
escape
When
thing.
we first brought it up, I thought the theater people would be perfect because they already build sets, right?
Yeah.
So they have kind of all the equipment and everything else, so.
Yeah.
I think
So-
we should try it.
Should we just try this? I
I
think
think
we should
so. I
try
think
it,
it'd be
see
fun.
how it goes, and then we'll know. People love the pie eating contest. We'll know if people like it or not. And then it's also like, we're not providing a concert, but we are doing this. And also I've gotten feedback on the concert when I'm talking to people that like, thank you. So,
Mhm.
I think there.
Karen did say the one thing would be if we do charge a small fee, then you'd weed out those that are just doing it because it's free. The people that really want to do it would pay a small amount.
That's true.
So, I mean, it just,
He's like $10 a lot. Like I know you said 20. I think 20 is not a lot, but thinking for a kid, like
well,
$10.
I think of families.
I'm
Like,
thinking
I
a
would
group.
like to see, like,
Yeah.
families come through.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see groups of teenagers going through. I want to see, like, families. Like, I want to see a mom and a dad and, like, 4 kids, like, go through it.
I mean, if
And,
there's, 10
um,
teenagers that want to get together and do it, that's,
But, like, that would be the thing that I think those are, like, the people we really need to set attractions for.
yeah.
So, so that would be, I guess, even if even if it's a family of 5 and you charge $5, or if we only, kids under 5 are free, or, I mean, there's all sorts of different scenarios you can do. It just,
I think we can probably figure out any kind of a pricing structure
Yeah.
if we decide to do that later, but I think it's a good idea to go ahead and book them. I think we're all in agreement
would
that
you
that
like to make the motion, Sheila?
I would make the motion that we go ahead and book the the escape room people. What's their name again?
It's Escape Room Parties Montana.
They are
Then we'll have
escape room. I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and book escape room parties. It looks like for August 8th and 9th, and that would be $3,000 for both those days, correct?
That's a hotel.
Okay, plus a hotel room. With a cost to us of $2,950.
Plus a hotel.
Okay, so there's an overnight fee. Yep, plus a hotel room.
Yeah, the overnight fee is pretty much like how they pay the workers
Gotcha.
for their time of
To
being away from home overnight.
be away from home. Gotcha. And then do we want to set a limit on the overnight? We're probably going to get them an Airbnb or VRBO or something, correct?
I'll have to talk to the guy because he said that they came here for a graduation. I think the Safe Grad a few years ago when it wasn't held at the school and it was held at the fairgrounds. I think they came out and set up for that. And he said that they stayed here at a hotel that was pretty nice.
Must have been.
They stayed here
We have
at a
so
hotel that was
many.
pretty nice?
so many options.
Fair enough.
So I might talk to him and ask him what their thoughts would be on wanting to stay local. Or he did say that they do have a camper that
I think that gets too dicey.
they could bring if we could find him a camping spot.
Oh, camping spot. Off.
And I told him
Yes.
that we couldn't let him stay on site.
They have
But
just
I don't know
one-
what
just
the
the-
KOA costs or
Yeah.
Just the one camper?
yeah.
They can stay at our place. We've got an RV hookup. I'm serious. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. We'll charge you $1. Now, is this surcharge, I'm just skimming this right now, is that on top of that for fuel?
So there's a diesel surcharge, yeah. So it depends on what the price of diesel is that actual week, and it goes by. So if the diesel price that week is $4 to $4.50, they surcharge an extra $50.
Okay.
I have no idea what diesel
You guys
charges.
have any red
What are-
diesel?
What are
It's
diesel?
not for it's
I
for
think
their
it's
pickup to get
I think
here.
it's
you
$3.40.
Oh!
So I don't know if it goes up during. I have no. I don't
Okay.
follow. I don't.
It's politics.
I
Who
don't-
knows what it will be.
I don't pay attention to regular gas prices.
I know, I just,
It's
I
like
you
half
did
and half.
it,
Half and
yeah.
half, so I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever.
So potentially
So
another
it
$50.
could add an
but
extra
that's-
50 to
Yeah.
even if the price is over $5 to $5.50, then it's $100 for a surcharge.
If it goes up to $5 a gallon, we're probably not having a
Yeah, we're not
a
like-
fair. So good grief. Okay,
So,
take a look at
So
that.
the motion's been
Yes,
made?
the motion has been made.
I'll second it.
Okay. Thank you, Val.
so I guess my only concern with the whole pricing thing is that if we want to get this advertised in the fair book, I would like to be able to say if it's free or if it's a charge.
We'll just put in their minimal charge in the,
May have minimum.
me, yeah.
That's perfect.
Pending diesel prices. Sorry.
A fuel surcharge. for-
Yeah, feels like, yeah.
You know what, I think minimal charge is fine, and then if it's free, it's free.
Yeah.
Then it's a bonus.
Would that be okay?
So we're under promising and over delivering.
Because I think $10
What's the
is
deadline
nothing.
on the?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna spend that kind of money.
We
At
could
the
do like
anywhere.
$5 for ages 16 and over. Or
What's the deadline on the fair book?
well, I need to get it out the first week of May, and so like all the sponsors and stuff are supposed to be in by April 25th. But probably like I need to have things kind of buttoned up by May 1st so that I can at least print them.
So you think $10 for the hour or whatever is too much? Is that what you're thinking, Jess?
Well, I
You
don't
should
know.
be
So like,
I say
think
regardless
if we
of
charge,
the
like
age.
it needs to be like a graduated charge.
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
5 and under free, 6 through 12 are $5, 12 and up are 10. I don't know.
Why
We
not
could-
just 10
or-
for the whole group? That's what I was thinking. Not per person.
I think I think
For 40
one,
minutes, $10.
for one round, it's $10. And if you're standing there with 10 people and 3 other people show up, then they can join your group kind of. a
Well,
thing.
they can only
Or-
10 people can fit in the room. at a
So if
time.
there's 5 people and they pay $10 and 3 more people walk up and the group says, yeah, you can join us, then that's fine.
So my
10
thing is, I think
bucks
that
an
they're
hour?
gonna have to sign up for times. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think people are gonna come, and they're gonna be like, oh, we just started, because I'll start them on the hour.
Mhm.
So at 3 o'clock, a group will go in, at 3:20, people will go, oh, but I wanna get on the next one, and then they'll sign up for the 4 o'clock group.
So they might mix people together.
Yeah, like,
Oh,
there could be
I
different
missed
parties.
that. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
thought it was
like,
just
there could be like a
specific.
family of 4, and then,
Yeah.
a couple, and then like a couple team, all
I
mixed
missed
together
that.
into
Okay.
that.
If you've ever
I'm sorry.
done laser
I've never
tag
done it.
or
That's
something like that, where you
Well, how about if we do
Because I think with that limit, we would want to try to fill
to
it
5
as much.
to 5 years old is free, and then 6 to 12 is 2, and then 12 to whatever is 5.
I support that. 5 and under's free.
Mm-hmm.
12 and under's 2. They're gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then
So
12
6
and
to 12.
Have you ever done an escape room?
no, I'm not.
I would say anything under 12 should be free because there's a lot of logic involved, and so there's going to have to be a teenager or an adult in the room.
I did ask the guy
So-
that, I said, well, it's family friendly, not scary, stuff like that. And he said yes, but he said kids would be perfectly fine going in there. They obviously can't go by themselves because some of the puzzling part of it is
Right.
above.
Be-
They can help with
beyond.
some of the things, but
Yeah.
in order to solve the puzzles, there will need to be some adults in there.
So 12 and under is free and the rest is $5?
12 and under free if accompanied by an adult.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So
We just
0
need to make
12.
sure there's an adult or an older teenager.
Whatever is easy
teenager
to
or
also
something in the
advertise.
room.
You'll
Yeah.
have to make a
Yeah, that's
list.
the hard part.
List him.
And I assume they set up with cameras and that kind of thing so that they could see what's going on in the room and they're there for hints and to be able to help and that kind of thing. That's kind of my
Like the
experience.
attendees, I don't
Yes.
know. I don't know if they set up a camera or if they can actually just
Peek their head in.
listen to them, since it's just like a,
That's the one that I had a camera in there, but then it also, yeah, you could say, I give up, where's the key? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So 13 plus is $5.
Yeah.
12 and under free with an adult.
With an adult,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then again, if we decide to drop that price, then that's fine.
Yeah.
We've got time for that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, moving on to the April joint meeting with Rodeo and 4-H. So I attended the joint meeting. And they are good with splitting the cost of the restrooms for the cleaner and the stalker. They will pay $125 towards that, Jess.
Okay.
The water tower was a big conversation. We will not know more until later. They asked if we could do a joint board meeting on July 14th. And I said yes. Because that is when the city will know more about what's going on. They're 2 weeks behind already due to concrete. They don't have an answer for it yet. It sounds like they will be done in the ditch, working in the ditch area by Fair, so that's
Okay.
good there. They are working, I feel like camping is not really necessarily our responsibility, so I'm going to skip
Which
that.
is a control
Yep.
of all the camping. Yeah.
Yeah, and parking. They, Denise is going to ask the airport about maybe letting us use a little bit of the airport, letting them for the rodeo use it Friday and Saturday. She'll get back to us again, probably.
That did come up today because Allison and I meet monthly with Jesse
Oh yeah,
Swenson.
Yeah.
And it did come up today. So the airport is undergoing a huge project. I don't know if you guys know, they're resurfacing the entire runway. And so like they're getting things started. And so there's a possibility, like, I don't know how long it's supposed to take or anything, but there's a possibility that the airport might not be functional at that time.
Oh.
And if so, then we would probably have more availability to expand into their area. So he wasn't sure on the timeline on that, but it's a definite possibility. So
Okay.
that might be good for us.
That's good to know. I think that is just kind of all a moving target, so I think there's no point in even shooting at it until we get closer to it. They did say there may be some parking behind the dirt pile. Again, I'm not going to count on anything until we get closer. I don't think we should count on anything. They're talking about doing putting lights up. This is kind of more of the 4-H and livestock, working with Tim. I don't know who Tim is. For the roping barn and or with 4-H for the lights for the wash rack area.
Oh, yeah.
So they were kind of, again, not really affects us. They are talking about getting a new sound system in the roping arena, and if that is the case, someone asked if they could use that sound system in the 4-H building, our building. I know that we were in there. I don't know how to turn up the volume in there when we were in there, but I will say it was kind of quiet. I think I just didn't know where the volume button was. But to update the sound system in the 4-H building was kind of a comment.
Okay.
Okay?
Like a portable one?
I don't know, whatever is in the rodeo arena now, they said we could move it, but it might be older than what's already in there. They would have to do some thinking on that. So if they get a new one in the roping arena, then maybe we could, I think it could be talked about at that point in time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay. It's nice that they were thinking of us. So the next item was the advertising. They will also be willing to split advertising 50-50. We just need to kind of know what is out there for advertising. Again, the free newspaper trade deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they would like to do the ATMs. Again, work with us on that in the 4-H building, in the 4-H building, and then at the beer gardens if possible. I know that was an accident. They did mention that Rotary has some funding. So maybe for a new sound system again in the 4-H building, but Karen and I were definitely thinking about for entertainment under the tent, that replacing the tent and getting something permanent.
Yeah,
if
we've been trying to do that forever.
Yeah, if we could maybe figure out how to write a grant for the Rotary. So I would ask Jess if maybe you could get the grant application from the Rotary.
For what? Sorry.
It's okay, for a building to go over where the tent goes. That slab.
Was there
For a
any
pavilion, like a permanent?
Yeah.
Mhm.
was there any indication of what kind of funds we're talking about here? I mean,
I can't remember.
10,000, 100,000, a million?
Karen, do you remember? Karen had something as well. Or maybe there was another thing. I don't know if she's texted. If she can remember what they maybe would have to offer. Karen said something about 3,000, but I don't know if that was the Rotary or if that was BC or the trust board or something like that. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Maybe it could. I don't think so, though. I guess timing is flying by for me.
Broadwater Community Foundation, $3,000, but has to be for a nonprofit.
Perfect. Is 4-H no profit?
4-H is nonprofit.
Maybe we could work with the 4-H on that. Karen? Also, they would like to display their saddles in the building, in the 4-H building, so we need to make sure we leave room for that. We weren't sure last year. They didn't come last year, kind of just some forgot things, so they would like to have them this year. They bought their own lawnmower, so they would like to sever the MOU that we have for the lawn mowing.
Okay.
So we need to get that done. I think it expires in July.
It expires in April.
Oh,
I
in
was
April.
going to say it was only a 1-year term anyway. So
Perfect. So then we'll just let it.
just let it expire. Yep.
So I think we do need to redo our MOU with them for the roping barn usage, though. Because we usually sign 2 of them with them.
Perfect.
Non-problem.
So I do think in that maybe we should include that they will take care of the. Lisa said yes, they're going to continue taking care of the grounds with the new lawnmower, but I think it's probably something we should just have in writing for safety purposes. So maybe with the roping barn MOU, it includes.
This is the draft. They were separate, so you're probably okay.
Yeah, there are
includes
two separate ones.
Yeah.
writing of, or mowing, maintaining of the lawn. But that was their intent of buying the new one, was to continue to do that.
Okay.
And then, Jess, if you wouldn't mind sending the updated fair schedule to Lisa, so she has it once we get it confirmed. Their schedule confirmation, everything was correct and accurate on here, except for on Saturday, they are not doing the team roping at 9 a.m. They asked that we could put pre-rodeo on Saturday at 6:30. They're thinking of having something. And then also she wanted to note the parade is at noon, which I think maybe you have, but those were the additions, and I can let you use this. They did let me know on the lawnmower that everything has been tuned up except for it does need an oil change, and that the parts are a bugger to get, which is why they moved forward with getting their own. Can't read my handwriting. So, yeah.
So the lawnmower the Fair Board has then is not,
So I believe they're giving it
Used
back
anymore?
to us.
Yeah, they just,
because we were allowing them to use it kind of, I guess, so.
So I believe what we'll probably do is turn it over to the county maintenance department, and if they want to use it, because they mow the courthouse and Connors Field, and right now they have to trailer one out to Connors Field, and so I don't know if they would want to leave house one out there, or if this one is not worth it, I don't know. So that's probably what would happen, is we would probably give it over to maintenance staff, and then they can figure it out.
So it actually kind of belongs to the county more than sort of the board, or?
Well, I mean, the Fair Board money is county money.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's something that we purchased with our budget at some point.
Gotcha.
I think maybe there was an idea of potentially, could we sell it? Make $500?
That's where I was
To
headed.
sell to sell county property, you have to get it approved to go through like a surplus auction. So you can't just be like, put a for sale sign on the sidewalk.
Right.
So maybe we ask the county if they want it, and if they don't want it, if they don't have a use for it.
The money
instead of
goes back to the
sitting.
general fund, though. It doesn't come necessarily to us.
No, I think
No, it would go
come
back
us.
to us.
Would it come to us?
Yeah.
Could that be an option? If they're not
Yeah.
going to use it, then rather than it just sitting there.
I moved to sell that lawnmower.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. That was kind of it from that meeting. Any questions? So, big action items that I have: the Rotary, we can ask for funding; the advertising, split 50-50, figuring out what we want to do there with them; the July 14th joint meeting. We need to sever the MOU, or I guess just let it expire since it's April, ensuring that we are allowed to have room for their saddles on display, and then send schedule to Lisa once it's done in the ATM. I'm happy to give you, if you want to take a picture of my little box check for my action items. I had to make a list, otherwise I'd forget. Okay, any questions? Perfect. Moving to old business. Any old business? Old business? Okay, new business. Rental updates.
I don't think there's been any new rentals since the last one that haven't actually already happened.
Okay. Then the next item is, well, I have something for new business. When we were having, actually, real quick to follow up, have they been better? Has 4-H been better about cleaning?
So the annual building cleanup was this last weekend. So one of the clubs, and it rotates through, does a cleanup out there every year where they like really clean. So that happened on Sunday. The maintenance guys went out there on Tuesday morning to check fire extinguishers, and the heaters were up on 68. And so I sent out a new email to all the 4-H leaders with the building protocol and some specific reminders that as of this point, we're not even turning them down anymore. We are turning them off. If you're not in the building, they should be off. And making sure that they clean up after themselves. Because I made it very clear to them that when they're using the building for free, I should not have to go out there and check it and make sure things are turned off and things are cleaned up.
Okay.
So I've only heard back from one person on that. There's only been one person that responded at all, but
Okay.
yeah. So I think, I don't know, hopefully, Karen, maybe we can discuss that at council this month. Council meets next week, or not next week, what day is it? Council meets on the 21st. On agenda already, she said.
Perfect.
So I'll go
Okay.
over with council.
Okay.
Council usually has one representative from each club. The problem is they don't always have project leaders.
Got it.
So
Okay. I know that when, this is what brought me to it, is when we rented it for the community event day for the Big Sky Big Leadership class, or group that did that, I noticed the chair holder, the wheels are broken, so I was wondering if this group would be supportive of me reaching out and seeing if maybe Clint Watson would help us, the shop teacher, or shop group might be able to
are
fix it.
they broken?
I don't know, but it would
It's-
not move.
It's hard to push. It's always been really hard to move.
I think the one looked broken, but I don't know.
Okay. So we'd probably have to take like all the chairs off of it, all the weight off of it, and then look at it.
I think I would visit with Karen about this because it was something that popped into my brain because I said, don't let me forget. And maybe I could take pictures of it and send it to Clint and then see like if he could come up, if he thinks maybe it's a simple fix, maybe it's nothing.
Might just
at all.
need a new caster.
I just thought that it was always just because they're so damn heavy
Yeah.
that they're hard to move.
It like wouldn't turn.
No.
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 I had a few people that were helping said this needs fixed. So I said, I'll bring it to the Fairport since I'm on the Fairport. So-
And another problem with that, I think, is that to get in and out of that room.
Yes, that doesn't help anything. Which is probably why I think it probably got bent a
Or
little bit,
something, yeah.
is because you
We'll
have
have
to
to
get a run at
put on
it.
it.
So it makes sense. The other thing was the doors. There's like a gap in the doors. So I didn't know if we needed to ask the county to help that. My fiance's the one who noticed it. He's a freak about doors and sealing properly, and you can see all the way around multiple of the doors.
How about the front?
The back one by the
double doors?
kitchen and the new double doors. And I talked again. I was like, Karen, don't let me forget, because my brain's kind of spacey. So she said even the new doors kind of have it. So I don't know if we need to reach out to them. Again, happy to send.
I can have the
Dustin
maintenance
over.
guys check it out and see
Yeah.
if there's anything they can do about it.
There's got to be something.
Would that be something that if there's, would it be the county that would pay for that? We would
It'd be
pay
under
for that, we'd
building
split
maintenance.
it up, so.
It would
okay.
probably be under building maintenance.
Okay.
Which comes out of the maintenance account. Yeah.
And I had mentioned to you before getting a digital thermometer for that 4-H building so that you can
Mhm.
look at it and control it from a distance, and you can program it so that if someone's coming in, you can say turn on at whatever 3 o'clock or 10 in the morning or whatever, and not have to constantly go out there all the time.
Yeah.
Is that something that you?
I have not looked.
Okay.
I'm guessing that it's probably
Do you
not
want
going
me
to
to
be
call Danny and see if he?
cheap. No, I'll do it.
Okay.
Because he gave me the option when we first got quotes, and I was like, no, we shouldn't need that. Which we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Wow.
So.
I mean, I forget at my own house too sometimes. So.
Well, the problem is, you know, when you forget and somebody's just not out there for a whole week.
Right.
It's running at 70 for a whole week.
I did close the door during our event, and someone said, it's hot. I said, I don't care, we're paying for this. We're shutting the door.
I just hate having you have to go out there when there's better options.
Well, and I think we're going to be relaying to 4-H that is, they need to perform to higher expectations. Because there's also some cleaning issues. Like I've gone out there, because I don't go out there and walk through the building until it's before like a paid event. That's when I go out and make sure that things are stocked and cleaned. And when it's only been 4-H things in there, and there's garbage left in the garbages, and there's paper towel shreds all over the floor in the bathroom. And
I was very intentional when we were done. I want you to know. Someone said, do we need to sweep? I said, yes.
yeah.
So we swept.
Yeah. So I think, I think having that conversation and being a little bit more.
And people just taking leadership as well.
Mhm.
Like I did not want to sweep, but I did.
Yeah.
I did not. I did not do.
I know, that's the last thing you want to do after a long event.
Yeah.
is
But we did it. So
Clean up.
I think
after.
setting the expectations is. And actually, I had a 4-H'er say to someone, "Yes, you need to do that." So they're learning. Some of them are. Okay. Anything else for new business? Anything else?
I'll have the maintenance guys look at the chair cards too.
Okay. And I'm sure Clint would
See
be
if
willing
there's
to help or
something
something.
to
Yeah.
do.
And I really do think it's been, if I remember correctly, because it makes sense, right? It's a bugger to get.
Well,
them
yeah,
out of
because
it.
you have to pull
Reef
on them
on
and
it.
jerk on them. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The next meeting date and time is May 8th at 5:15 here in the Flynn Building. Any objections to that? Looks good on my calendar for now. Anything else? Okay, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. 6:44.